concept of twin flames is such a heavily trending topic these days, now more than ever, because we need it to be more than ever. And it's been this way for some years now, but there are also a lot of misconceptions and misunderstandings about it, especially when you're first jumping on it. So I just want to share some of my thoughts on my journey and also just generally explain what it's all about. So I have been consciously on this journey since about 2017. I've been on it much longer, much longer, but it's just been since then that I became aware of what it even all means. So what does it mean? So basically, this is the other side of your own self. Sort of tapping into your subconscious is what it means. So it's a direct route to spirituality and your own spiritual side. Basically, we all have two sides of ourselves. Let's call it feminine and masculine, which has nothing to do with gender. It's just terminology. It's just labels so that we can talk about these things. So feminine being more of the intuitive, dreamer, feeling side. And if you're more in touch with that side than you're masculine, then you're probably watching this video right now. Because if you're on more of the masculine side, you're just not focused on that kind of stuff as much. You're more of the action taker and tangible material concepts. So that's a very general description, but that's kind of the idea. So we all have both. It doesn't matter if you're female or male. We all have both within us, but what can happen is you can get out of balance and out of whack and lean way more to one side than the other, and then you don't have a balanced life. And that's going to expose itself in a myriad of ways. So it could be your work life, your friendships, and most distinctly, most obviously, when we're talking about a twin flame journey, it would be romantic partnerships. So the biggest misconception is that your twin flame is all about another person, which, yes, it can manifest that way. Many times it does. And if you come into union, as we call it, or alignment with your embodiment of this other person, of what it means to be whole, then wonderful for you, because that's a lot of spiritual work that you've done, and it's quite a blessing. So to get to that point, it's not so easy. Most of the time it's not, because what's really happening is you're facing other parts of yourself that you have never faced before, or dealt with, or known of, or maybe were afraid of. And so we're tapping into subconscious beliefs that you may have about yourself and the world around you and how things work. And we're just kind of correcting things, I guess, for lack of a better phrase. So the point is once you can balance your energies, your two opposing energies, I shouldn't call them opposing, your two energies that complement each other within your own self, and as you rise through your vibrations in life, your different levels of life, as you're ascending, then you will keep getting mirrored situations and relationships and encounters and people in your life that match where you are on that journey. So it can be very tough and very challenging for a good bit while you start this path. But the point is, ultimately, is that because this other person that you've met that has catapulted you into this journey has had such a profound effect on you, that you feel like you have this deep attachment. You feel like you are completely obsessed. Like when maybe you separate, when you have an argument, when things don't work out, when you're not in communication, it can literally feel like you're losing a part of your own self. It is incredibly difficult and incredibly painful. It truly feels like you're mourning the death of a loved one, because you are mourning the loss, it feels like at that point in time, of your own self, your own soul, which really doesn't happen. You're just thinking that's happening. But that's how profound of an effect this situation has over you. What will then start to happen, and this is where, in my own self, I'm included in this, what I'm about to say, is where people end up staying in pain for longer than they need to, where people get confused and lost on this journey, is, again, it's when they think that it's all about the other person. Not realizing that everything that is outside of you is a manifestation of what's already going on inside of you, not vice versa. You manifest everything that is already an internal belief, including this other person. So you will start to, well, basically, it's allowing you to understand law of attraction and just how energy works, and this concept that I just spoke of, where the reason it's so mind-altering and jarring and shocking and unbelievable at first is because you will see so many synchronicities. You'll encounter so many so-called coincidences, so many things that are just too crazy. Like, that many coincidences couldn't have happened unless it meant something, kind of thing. You will start to hear their name in grocery stores. You will start to see the car that they drive every time you drive down the street. You will start to hear that special song that the two of you shared together. You will just see and hear and encounter and experience them everywhere around you. Some could call that telepathy. In a sense, it is, from one perspective. But because when you return back to them, they'll say kind of the same things to you. But it's because we're all manifesting outward. So if you do have this connection with another person, you're both encountering the same things, but ultimately it's coming from the inside out. So it's just kind of a quick, relatively quick. This stuff can last weeks, months, years, decades. But in the grand scheme of things, where you have many, many, many incarnations in life, and you've gone through many lives, you've most very likely encountered your twin flame embodiment in previous lives, but maybe you never actually got to get together. You never had that full-out relationship. Something happened where maybe someone abandoned the other, someone passed away, whatever happened. That's, again, just the embodiment of another person, and you relive that pain. But the point is you never are detached from your own twin flame, because it's you. So the synchronicities that you're seeing are just because you have become so obsessed with this other person that has become your basically constant focal point. So whatever you're focusing on in life, this is the point. This is where law of attraction begins, the understanding of it. Whatever you're focusing on is what you get more of. The universe just says yes. Yes. Your wish is my command, is what the universe says all the time. It doesn't judge. There's no right or wrong. It just is. It's just cause and effect. It's just energy. So, because you end up having such an obsession with this other person, now you've created such a focus on everything that is them that you are just getting bombarded by everything that is them. Then you'll start to notice that other things are happening too, that maybe don't have to do with this other person or this relationship or situationship that you might be in, this obsession that you have. And notice that I'm not saying that you're getting that relationship right away, because what happens when you're in pain is you're focusing on what you don't have. And guess what you're going to get more of in life is whatever you're focusing on. Literally, take things extremely literally. So just because you're focusing on someone and wanting them so badly to be a part of your life, to be in a relationship with them, if you're in pain about it, if you're depressed about it, if you're stressing about it, if you're up all night about it, if you have anxiety about it, this is what you're breeding more of, is the lack of them being there. So it's a heart-wrenching process, but if you can get through it and dig deep into your own inner being, your own soul, and understand that you have the power, that you're the one that's creating all of this. You're creating them actually running away from you more and more and more, the more that you are in pain over it. You start to then, very gradually, tap into the fact that, oh, I do have the power. So if I can love them, would always want to be willing to be a part of their life, but I don't need to have them to survive. I don't need them for my happiness, that I can be a whole and complete being on my own. And if they want to come in, if they are doing their work as well, and we meet at a different time, we're both on the same level, a healthier level, and we end up in a relationship, wonderful. In fact, it's much, much, much more likely to happen that way. In fact, it won't happen unless you do that. This is the point. It will not happen unless you understand that everything that you desire in life has to be not just what you desire, but how you're already living. It seems backwards. I know. Whatever you want to do, whatever relationship you want to have, whatever place you want to live in, whatever you're desiring out of life, you want to be specific yet general. What I mean by that is, do be specific about how much money you want to earn next year. Okay? Yes, don't just say, I want more money. The universe can give you 2 cents more and say, done, did it for you. That's more money. No, be specific. I want to make $10,000 more per year next year. I want to make $1 million next year. And then let it go. Don't control it. You can't control the factors on how you get it. You do your work, you take the action steps, you do as much as you can control with what you're putting out into the universe, but you can't obsess about it, and you can't force the outcome or force who it happens with or how it happens, because there's such a thing as free will. So I can't specify that I want one single person. We have many soulmates, by the way, throughout each lifetime. And a soulmate just means that you have a soul connection. Could be platonic, could be familial, and of course romantic as well. I personally believe that the twin flame concept, I think it jumps from person to person, because if I want to be in harmonious union and alignment with my perfect version of a soulmate, they may not be ready for that themselves in this lifetime. The specific person that I'm thinking of. So I have to allow my options to be more open. It could be someone that I have not even met yet. It could be someone from my past. I don't know. But it's not ultimately up to me to decide. I can't force anyone to do anything beyond their free will. And I can't force the universe. The universe has its ways, and there's destiny and there's divine timing, and there are a lot of chess pieces to maneuver around. So, maybe the universe wanted me to be with a certain person, but they're just not available and they're not ready for me yet. I gotta let that go. I gotta let that go and allow it to be someone else. Maybe allow factors to come into play that are even better for me, that I could not even imagine on my own. And the universe wants that for me. So why limit myself to any one specific situation, scenario, person, you know what I mean by that. Just, I have to ask for what I want or better and let it go. Let it ride. Let it flow. And just keep working on me. Keep working on my own balance, combining my energies within my own self, being a fully secure and stable and happy, healthy human being and soul on my own. And let it happen naturally and organically. Anyway, those are my 2 cents. Please, if you would, like, share, comment. Please help me to keep this channel up and alive and strong. And donations are always welcome. I have a PayPal link down below for Wake Up with Mara, so any amount is truly appreciated. And I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.